What's up everyone, welcome to the video. My name's Evan Ulbricht. I'm a professional surf and sports photographer here in San Diego. Today's video is going to be on stop wasting money on useless photography gear. So this video is going to be part of the new series again. This series has been awesome, it's done super well, and if you have any new ideas for me, let me know down in the comments. So let's get right into it. So first off is focus on what you need. So useless photography gear, this is a big thing I feel like a lot of people don't talk about, but overbuying on gear that you really will never use. And this is a big thing, especially for me. I'm a college student. I don't have a ton of money just to be throwing around on gear. And I have a nice camera. I have a Canon R5. I got the 24-70 on here. And I do have nice gear. But don't be overpaying for gear that you don't need. So I got a 70-200 last year. And I was thinking about it for like 3 years getting that lens. I didn't want to get it because I was like, I don't know how much I'll use it. And I got the F4 version because the F2 is like twice as much. So that's kind of one of the things as well. What step of that lens do you need? Do you need the professional lens? Do you need maybe the middle end, which would be the F4, which I got because I just didn't think it made sense to pay twice as much just for that, when it's not going to be my primary lens. But so far I have used it a lot and I'm super happy that I got it, but I'm also happy that I waited to get it until I knew that I was going to use it. So I basically waited until I was like in multiple circumstances doing sports where I was like, man, I wish I had a 7200 right now, or I need a little bit longer of a lens than the 24-70, but a little bit less than the 1-400, which I have. And the 1-400 is an f5.6 as well, so maybe it's just not sharp enough, something like that. Maybe it's just too dark when I'm shooting at sunset, at night. So stuff like that, make sure that you actually are thinking about, wow, I would use that lens right now. Or maybe think of multiple circumstances where if I get that lens, I'm gonna use it here, here, and here, and that's gonna replace this lens here. And then make sure it's also not replacing lenses that you already have though, unless you're gonna sell those lenses. Because you also don't wanna be, oh, I got this 24-70 lens, but I only use it at 35 mil. And then you get a 35 mil that you love, it's a f2.8 or even lower, and you only use the 35 because then you don't need the 24-70. So then it's like, well, should I sell the 24-70? And at that point you probably should if you're just using the 35 mil. So focusing on what you actually need and prioritizing that based on your experience. Because just because someone tells you to buy a lens, like I do not have a 35 mil, I don't do that many portraits, I don't feel like I would use it that much because I love the 24-70. It's just easier for me, especially when I'm traveling, when I'm doing photography. I'm kind of more a run and gun approach, that's what I do. So it just wouldn't work as well for me. So that's why I haven't bought it. I haven't thought about buying it, even though a lot of people have been like, that's my favorite lens. But that's okay because that's what they use a lot. And I've never felt the need to use it. So unless you actually feel the need to get a lens, then don't buy it, or else you're just gonna be wasting your time and money. Second thing I want to talk about is avoid getting trapped by new gear. Exactly what I was just talking about, how if people tell you, hey, get this new lens, or even if a new camera comes out, like the R5 Mark II just came out, I've not thought about getting the R5 Mark II because I love my R5 right now. I've had no problems with it. It works great for me, everything like that, and I don't think the upgrades are good enough, and also I just don't think it's worth the money to get that new one. If anything, it makes more sense to prioritize getting new lenses because then you could put those on multiple camera bodies, which I think is well more worth your money, because then I can get multiple RF lenses, and then any RF camera that I get from Canon, I can use those lenses for a while because they're gonna have the RF lenses for who knows how long, maybe 20 years, so 10, 20 years. And then even when they replace those, you're not gonna just replace your camera as well right away. They're also gonna make adapters. So also focus on those lenses that are super important to you. Same thing with the 1-400 that I have for sports. That lens is super old. That lens is like 10 years old, and I still use it on my RF camera, and it's an EF mount just because I got an adapter for 150 bucks, and I use that lens every time I'm doing soccer, football, baseball, anything like that. I use that lens every single time, and that lens is like 10 years old, and I use it every time, and it's amazing. So stuff like that as well. Don't get trapped by new gear. Sometimes it might be a little bit better, sometimes it's not better, and it's gonna be way more expensive, and it's just not worth it, especially if something happens to it. You're gonna be a lot more sad if it's a brand new lens versus an older lens that you paid a quarter of the price for or even less. Third thing I wanna talk about is third-party accessories. So a lot of people only buy accessories that are from Canon, from Rode if you're looking at microphones, from like Joby Gorilla Pods, maybe Joby tripods, or anything like that, Manfrotto tripods. there are a lot of things on like Amazon Basics now that I've gotten where it's like lens caps or camera straps or anything like that. Even something like anti-fog stuff for my camera housing. I buy so much stuff on Amazon now that's off-brand, and it works literally the same, if not even better, and it's a quarter of the price, half the price, and I love it. So don't be just looking at these crazy brands that are super expensive and super nice just because it's a name brand, because there's a lot of tripods out there where I was looking at tripods and there were some for a couple $100 just for the head of the tripod, and I went on Amazon, found one for 50 bucks, I got it. I still have it. I've been using it for like 6 years, and it's been amazing, and honestly I've had no problems with it at all. And I have not thought about getting another tripod, where you can get a tripod for 500 bucks, and just because it's 500 bucks does not mean it's better than a $50 tripod. Maybe it has a different head on it, but who knows if you're even gonna use that head. Only get the stuff like that if you know that you need it. And if you're like at a shoot and you're like, oh, man, this head would be super nice and really help me right now, then wait and then see if you need it again, and then be like, okay, maybe I'll get it. Maybe I'll even rent it to try it out before if it's that big of an investment as well. So actually making sure that you need stuff. Last thing I want to talk about is investing in learning. So a lot of people always keep buying new equipment, keep buying the newest camera, keep buying. And in reality, you're not going to get better unless you're actually learning how to be a better photographer, how to be a better artist in what you do. I think this is so important personally. I've been reading a lot of books. I actually have a book right here, which is called The Creative Act, which I've been reading, which has been awesome. And then I did a bunch of master classes over the summer. I did like 10 master classes on photography, and then also did marketing, business, stuff like that to actually help my business grow, help my photography grow as an artist and a business person. Honestly, I think that's so helpful and just as important as your gear, if not way more important, honestly. Just shooting as much as possible, getting people in your life that are mentors, reaching out, talking to people, reading books, courses. I've done like 3 courses now in photography that have been super helpful and just helped me think about photography differently as a business, maybe selling to people, or just taking better photos, being more creative in that as well. So I would definitely think that is really important, and if you're interested in being a better photographer, invest in your learning, because that's been huge for me as well, as someone who's really into learning as well. So thanks for watching the video. That's all I have to talk about. This is definitely a little bit longer for the video series, because I was trying to make those like 4 to 5 minutes. Well, this one's gonna be like 8 minutes, but it's all good. I think this was a super good video and super relevant in today's age for photographers and really content creators overall and artists. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Leave a comment down below of what you want to see next for this series. Subscribe, really helps me out, and like the video and share it to your friends. Thanks for watching, and see you next video.